while Brian was talking about the number of arrests and clearly a growing presence, the numbers show that arrests kind of, when you look at the average over time, are stagnant, at least now, right? We can't say what tomorrow or next week will bring, but D.C. is averaging about 70 arrests per day over the last week, which is the same average since the start of the year. So how serious do you think this is? I keep getting a read from, like, it's serious that he's doing it or it's complete show. Where are you on this?
Well, look, I mean, I don't know. I don't think we know exactly what they are doing. And so you have to conclude that there is an element of a show here. You know, the president has this habit, whether he's bragging about his own accomplishments or setting up situations like this, to be incredibly hyperbolic. And so, you know, that I think is part of this story. Washington, D.C. has problems just like every other city with crime, with homelessness, but the numbers, as we've all talked about, have been coming down. And to depict it as a dystopia, as he does, and to say in the proclamation that crime is rising when it's not, you know, raises a whole lot of questions about what exactly is he doing and why. Mm-hmm.
And what's the measure of progress then, honestly? Bill, the president is quickly also going after those who are criticizing his move and those who have said that this just smacks of an authoritarian push. Here he is. Watch.
Fighting crime is a good thing. We have to explain. We're going to fight crime. That's a good thing. Already they're saying he's a dictator. The place is going to hell, and we've got to stop it. So instead of saying he's a dictator, they should say we're going to join him and make Washington safe.
Bill, how concerned are you that this is just the beginning?
Well, Trump has said it's the beginning. He said he might have to do this in Chicago and Los Angeles and Baltimore. So much for the special status of Washington. Washington is an easier place for him to do it because it's the federal city. It doesn't have a state. It's not part of a state. There's no governor to go through. But clearly, and he wants to extend for 30 days, right? It's not as if he did study of crime in D.C. and decided we need this number of additional troops. They're well-trained, additional law enforcement people who are trained for this kind of patrolling. He wants to establish the principle that he gets to send federal agents into cities when he wants to. He did it in L.A., now he's doing it here, without any serious factual showing of why it might be necessary or why it's an emergency. He wants to establish the principle now in D.C. This is where this gets, I think, much more ominous, that he can take over the local police force. And he's not limiting that to D.C. So I think it is a show, of course, but the show is itself very serious. And the key is he wants this to be normalized. Brian, that was a good report that Brian gave, but he wants that report. He wants us to get used to it. Gee, what are all the federal agents doing today? I don't know if crime ticks down 3%, if there are additional 20 arrests over the next week in Washington, maybe we should do it in some other cities. And suddenly Donald Trump, you put this together with ICE and everything else, has vastly expanded personal law enforcement authority in potentially major parts of the United States.
This actually gets at something I've been thinking about today, because I spoke earlier today with the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, Quinton Lucas. And his take is that President Trump targeting major cities led by Democrats is a win-win no matter what he does next. Let me play this for you, David.
This is one of the best fights to pick, because what I have to sit in front of you and say is, yes, there are homicides in my city. Yes, there is crime, but we don't think the same prescription of help is necessary. It's a tough position, but I think, frankly, this is the situation we're in, and he's not really interested in trying to save lives for us, but just exploiting the political issue.
What do you think of that?
I think that there is an element of baiting a trap here for Democrats. He wants to create a situation where he describes crime in the city as, an outrageous emergency,
and then have the mayor says we do have crime issues that we are working on.
Of course. But the reason I think he wants to extend this and get a vote in Congress is try and get Democrats to vote against this, and then he can argue that they are anti-crime. So, I think there is a lot to it. Listen, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we saw in L.A. the presence of the Marines and the presence of the National Guard, and it still isn't clear exactly what they were doing. Let's see what happens here and see if he actually produces something. But as Bill said, there's another issue here, which is the militarization of law enforcement, using military the way he's using it. And that's going to make a lot of people nervous.
Bill, on David's point, do you think that Democrats are taking Trump's bait if he's setting a trap?
No. And Democrats need to stop being such nervous Nellies. If they can't explain to the American people that for 200 years in this country, we have resisted for very good reasons the federalization, the presidential control over local law enforcement. If that makes them very nervous, tough. It's really important to kind of defend civil liberties in this country. It's important to prevent an all-powerful president from having personal command of law enforcement internally in this country. For all kinds of reasons. There are obvious things that Trump has talked about wanting to use law enforcement for. So I think Democrats need to toughen up, denounce this correctly. This is a pretext. Donald Trump does not care about crime in Washington, D.C. Can we just be honest? Does any actual grown-up person think Donald Trump is really terribly concerned about what's going on in the streets of Washington, D.C.? It's a pretext as part of his authoritarian agenda.
David, Bill, it's good to see you both. Thank you very much. Up front for us next.